Have you ever felt a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of fear when it comes to speaking your target language for the first time? For example, you imagine that even before you start talking, everything is going to go wrong. You don't know what to say, your mind goes blank, you don't understand what the other person says to you, you feel judged, you think you're making a lot of mistakes. Well, if that has happened to you, first, it's totally normal, and second, you are in the right video. Speaking a foreign language looks like a very natural act, but then when it comes to speaking, it might be a little bit daunting. So let me give you 6 fundamental rules of thumb or tips to make you a great communicator in any language. And stay tuned because there's going to be one super extra cool tip at the end of the video. Learning anything is strictly connected with emotions. If you walk into a conversation in a foreign language with the right state of mind, your levels of dopamine will be higher, and when your dopamine is high, you will be able to listen better, engage better, speak better, be a better communicator. So always remember that the very first factor for impressive and effective communication is actually your state of mind. Always walk into a conversation with a positive state of mind and thinking, I'm going to learn, I'm going to enjoy this conversation, I'm going to get my point across, communicate with another human being. That will make a huge difference instead of telling yourself, I'm going to be judged, I'm making mistakes. And you will see what difference it makes when that really happens in practice. Your future, your success when it comes to speaking 1, 2, 3, 4 languages is not defined by the assumptions you have, provided that you get rid of them. And one cool thing that you can do is to take a piece of paper, use pencil because it always works, focus on that piece of paper and think about all the assumptions and all the bad experiences that you have when it comes to speaking, and do tabula rasa, start from scratch and project yourself into the future with a positive mindset. You are going to be a great communicator if you want to. Building a solid mindset is not just a matter of finding a piece of paper, jotting down stuff, and convincing that everything is going to go well. You have to make it happen. What is the best way to make something like this happen? Well, just find a native speaker to talk to. The internet offers us a lot of possibilities nowadays. You can go to numerous websites where you can just write a profile, send a message, and get into a conversation with someone. Now, what you want to do, and this is key and absolutely crucial, is to find a person with whom you're going to cooperate with whom you're going to learn from, and they're going to learn from you. And the key word here is cooperation. Through cooperation, you're going to reinforce, strengthen your mindset. And you want to find someone who's understanding, who's on the same wavelength, probably has similar interests and hobbies. So the conversations have to be enjoyable. If you enjoy the conversation, you're going to focus on communication, and that is key to hone and improve your speaking skills. So I started coaching this student of mine, and then he told me something that really kind of shocked me and surprised me. He told me that every time that he started having a speaking session with his teacher, the teacher told him, wait a second, let's do some grammar stuff, or let's go through some reading out loud. And I told myself, what? When you speak a foreign language, be it with your tutor, your teacher, your language tandem, your friends, always make sure that you talk about what you want to talk about, because if you enjoy something, you will learn. Your levels of dopamine will rise and you will be more attentive. So a very simple technique is to jot down and brainstorm about all the things you really want to talk about before having this conversation. So you're going to jump directly into the conversation knowing what you're going to say, and you're going to enjoy the conversation. When something really cool happens to you, what is it that you want to do immediately? Think about it. You want to talk about it to someone. So imagine, for example, that something really cool happened in the afternoon, and at night you're sitting with your friends at a bar and you're telling them about the story. When you are excited about something, you want to say everything. You don't care about making mistakes. You don't care about the details of the language. You're just going for it. You don't think about the language, the tool through which you're communicating. You're just using it. And when you do that in a foreign language, you're learning as a consequence of that. Always walk in a conversation thinking that something really cool happened to you and you really want to talk about it. And so make language learning a consequence of communicating, of getting your point across, of telling compelling stories, of being yourself, of telling about yourself, of telling about what happened in your life. That will make a huge difference because it's a paradigm shift. It shifts the focus from language, where you think about being judged and making mistakes, to communication, where you're just getting the point across and you're learning as a consequence of that. Let's go back to school just for a second and imagine that the teacher is asking you to talk about something. What is it that happens? Think about it for a second. You tend to stay within your comfort zone. You tend to say only what you can say, and it only makes sense, right? It would be weird to stumble and ask, hey guys, or the teacher herself or himself, hey, do you know the word? Because I can't continue if I don't know the word. But that's exactly what you have to do with your language tandem, or when you're learning a language independently. You have to be curious. You have to ask. Remember the point before. You're getting your point across. And sometimes we stumble upon pieces of information that we simply don't know. We don't know how to say them in the language. So just ask for help. Get out of your comfort zone means putting yourself in a situation where you're going to learn as a consequence of that. So when you tackle a topic that you've never tackled before, when you're having a conversation with your language tandem, just ask them, how do you say this? How do you say that? And learn as a consequence of that. When you get out of your comfort zone, it means that you're learning, and that's what you have to do. So here you have it. With these few simple tips, you can literally revolutionize your approach, your strategies, your techniques to speak better and speak more confidently. If you want to know more how to be a better communicator, please click on the link in the description box below. There's going to be a lot of more additional information, techniques, strategies in other languages as well. You just name it. So please head over the blog and join the community. So as usual, I have one question and one cool extra tip for you at the end of the video. Let's start with the question. What are the things that really work well for you when it comes to speaking a foreign language, both psychologically and linguistically? Please leave comments below and let's make this conversation constructive and useful for everyone. Since you've been patient until now, let me reward you with one cool extra tip. Simplicity is beauty, and beauty is simplicity. This applies to language learning as well. When it comes to interacting with another person, make sure that you use simple words, simple sentences. Go straight to the point. The fact that you're using simple language actually allows your brain to think directly in the target language. So get simple, and be an effective communicator. It will make a huge difference. Get into the habit of getting your point across with very simple words.